Anime is pretty cool most of the time. Remember back in the days when niggas would look at you like you're a fucking weirdo if you told them that you liked animes? Nowadays, niggas will look at you like someone who sleeps under a rock if you don't watch it. It's funny how they turn tables. Back in the day, you used to watch your Naruto versus Sasuke, Rock Lee versus Gaara, Goku versus Vegeta, and many other great fights. But nowadays, as we've gotten older and smarter, we've started to realize that some characters do not deserve the positions that they currently have. And people have begun to start calling these people frauds. Today I will bring to light a well-known fraud within my favorite anime/manga, Bleach. This fraud's name is Toshiro Hitsugaya. Now I know what people are gonna say. Toshiro Hitsugaya? Shouldn't you be talking about Renji? If any of you said that, I honestly wouldn't blame you. Renji Abarai has a staggering win percentage of 32%, and yet that percentage is still lower than Rangiku. All of his greatest moments are overshadowed by the fact that A, the opponents that he's fighting are complete fodder and irrelevant, or B, other characters do these moments way better. And finally, among other reasons, Renji almost lost to a no Shikai Ichigo. No Zangetsu. Now that's very disappointing. While I would agree that Renji is definitely a fraud, I believe Toshiro has it worse because he had the potential not to be, which makes honest to God sense when you realize that most people view Toshiro Hitsugaya as the potential man of Bleach. Now, what is a potential man? Basically, think of a potential man as someone who has a lot of potential to be great, yet who never reached that level. What potential did Toshiro Hitsugaya have? Well, he is the youngest captain of the Gotei 13. Being a captain level character at that young age must mean you will be very strong. Not to mention your abilities are still somewhat underdeveloped. By the time you reach a certain age and face a certain opponent, his abilities will be godlike. These are the type of things a person who does not know of Toshiro's marred legacy would say. All of that being said, there are three things we must analyze in order to understand why Toshiro is shit. First up, we need to talk about Toshiro's very limited hit. Like honestly, gun to your head, name a time where Toshiro defeated a person without using his Bankai. I'll give you a minute. Unless he used filler or Toshiro going around beating up fodder hollows, I'm pretty sure he's used his Bankai in every fight he's been in. It is my honest belief that Toshiro must use his Bankai to stay relevant in a fight. Disappointing. Daigarin Hyorimaru is one of the most sad Bankai I've ever seen, because imagine using one of your most powerful moves on someone and then finding out that they still live. He literally has zero finishing power. His finishing power is only strong enough to kill fodder hollows. One more thing that I find sad about Toshiro's Bankai or powers in general is that he becomes completely useless once Yamamoto starts doing anything. Imagine being an asset to the Gotei 13, a literal ice dragon, and yet once Yamamoto literally turns up the heat, you just become a flying samurai. And it's bad because it only applies to him. Everyone else only really just gets chapped lips. But Toshiro becomes a cripple. Up next, we gotta talk about the people Toshiro hangs around with. Any of y'all know the proverb, you are the company you will keep? Let's see what company Toshiro keeps. He keeps around his lieutenant, Rangiku, and his two other friends, Kira and Momo. Now, what do these three characters have in common? That's right, they are all bombs. Does anyone even remember anything about Kira besides the fact that his Zanpakuto looks weird as shit and that his ability is to double the weight of anything it hits? According to the subreddit I found, Momo has 0 wins and still remains to this day as Aizen's mind rape victim. And Rangiku's uselessness speaks for itself. She is literally the face of Bleach and SFW, but that is all she's got going for her. You are someone's lieutenant, and you mean to tell me you don't have a Bankai? Ikkaku has a Bankai. Renji has a Bankai, but you don't? Why are you still here? You should be back home. You don't even have a cool Zanpakuto name. Your Zanpakuto's name is called Ash Cat.
Is this nigga serious?
No wonder Toshiro sucks. His comrades suck. Finally, we can go over Toshiro Hitsugaya's matchup history. In the Soul Society arc, he draws to Gin and he loses to Aizen. In the Gin fight, Gin was definitely finna win. And honestly, there's no surprise there. Gin, if you guys didn't know, is actually a potential man who actually achieves his potential. And what power did he end up gaining? Enough power to beat up any of these people within this JPEG, minus Aizen of course. And against Sosuke Aizen, well, I'ma be honest, if you think Sosuke Aizen is losing to Hitsugaya, you should click off this video right now. Up next we have the Aranka arc, in which I honestly believe is Toshiro's worst performance, because it is here where he gets the few wins that he has on his belt, and they are against 20 bombs. Gun to your head, name this character. I'ma be honest, I'll probably be on the floor dead too, because I had to search up this character's name in the midst of making this video. His name is Sha Long. Now I get the fact that Toshiro was 1/5 of his strength, but let's be honest, do you see any other captain struggle at 1/5 of their strength against a fodder Aranka? I don't think so. And why are you using your Bankai? Ikkaku uses Bankai, Renji uses Bankai. Why do you, a captain, need to use your Bankai against irrelevant characters? Disappointing. Even worse, immediately after that, he fights Luffy, another irrelevant character, and I'm pretty sure he uses a named attack on him and he lives. Then the showdown between the Gote 13 and Aizen begins, and Toshiro goes for Haribo. A nice cinematic battle. Haribo uses water, Toshiro uses ice, and then he brings in 2 other niggas to fight with him, so the victory is already kinda marred because they jumping niggas. And this is not JJK. He then uses a named attack, changes the weather and everything. Pretty sure that nigga had a cold ass line too. And we all thought Haribel died. Nope, she lived, and honestly, she looked ready for another round. Toshiro sucks. Up next, we have the Fullbringer arc, and even though this is my personal favorite arc of Bleach, let's be honest, no one cares about this arc, and no one especially cares about any sort of victory Toshiro gained within this arc. Congratulations, you defeated a NEET. We are now in recent anime territory, where we will be talking about the 1000-Year Blood War. Toshiro gets his only tool snatched by this guy named Kang Dude, and he tries to get back at him by only training his Shikai. However, he can't even beat him with his Shikai and has to use a roundabout means to get his Bankai back to beat him. Very sad, you cannot win without your one singular tool. He then becomes a black person, a zombie. He becomes a zombie and then one-shots someone who Yumi Chika had trouble with. This gas only lasts like literally 2 minutes because immediately afterwards he gets deep raped by Mayuri Kuretsuchi. We are now at Toshiro's final fight within the series, and we just learned that the final ability of Toshiro's Bankai is to actually give him the potential that he has as a potential man for a few minutes. Unfortunately for him, like all of Toshiro's fights, Cold Line, Named Attack, still lives. You know how most potential men like Rock Lee and Megumi never reach their full potential? Toshiro, in this instance, actually does reach his full potential and is still useless. And I don't want to hear, oh, it's the fucking miracle. We do not care. Toshiro clearly does not deserve the Zanpakuto within his hands. The best Ice Zanpakuto goes to Sore no Shirayuki, because unlike Toshiro, Rukia actually kills her opponents. I hope now that you all realize that Toshiro Hitsugaya, despite being a Goatee 13 captain, is the biggest fraud in Bleach.